David Hume, don't trust your senses? What if the eyes, ears, and fingers you trust every day are actually playful tricksters, happily showing you one version of the world while quietly hiding another just behind the curtain? David Hume loved beginning with this uneasy thought, because everyday life feels solid and obvious, yet the tools we use to know it are strangely fragile. When a kid bites into a lemon and feels sour, it seems certain that sourness belongs to the lemon, although Hume would whisper that the feeling lives inside the mind. This creates the first wobble, because if colors, sounds, and tastes live in us, then the world outside might be quieter and emptier than we imagine. Hume noticed that everything we know arrives as quick impressions, like flashes of light, followed by softer ideas that linger like afterimages. Those impressions feel powerful and convincing, which is why people trust them without hesitation, especially when they repeat again and again. Yet repetition itself raised a question, because seeing something happen often does not logically prove it must always happen. Kids understand this when a favorite snack suddenly disappears from the store, even though it was always there before. Hume wondered why the mind jumps from "it happened yesterday" to "it will happen tomorrow," as if habit were secretly dressed up as certainty. This habit, he suggested, is comfortable because it lets us move through life without freezing in doubt at every step. At the same time, habit quietly becomes a ruler, telling the mind what to expect and punishing it with surprise when reality breaks the pattern. Hume pointed at cause and effect, asking whether we actually see causes or whether we only notice events standing close together. When a ball hits a window and the glass shatters, the mind confidently shouts that the hit caused the break. Hume calmly replied that we only saw one thing followed by another, while the mysterious glue between them remains invisible. This feels unsettling because cause and effect seem like the backbone of understanding. Children feel this wobble when blaming themselves for outcomes that might have happened anyway. Hume also turned his attention inward, asking where the self hides when we look closely. Instead of finding a single solid me, he found a busy parade of feelings, memories, thoughts, and sensations. That discovery created another puzzle, because if the self is a bundle, then who is holding the bundle together? Kids sense this when moods change quickly, yet still feel like the same person somehow continues. Hume did not suggest throwing senses away, because without them life would be dark, silent, and motionless. He simply warned against treating them like perfect mirrors of reality. The senses, in his view, behave more like artists, coloring the world according to angle, light, mood, and memory. This idea explains why shadows can look scary at night and harmless in the morning. Hume believed reason alone cannot rule life, because reason depends on the raw materials senses provide. At the same time, he distrusted reason's confidence because it builds castles on habits rather than on uncheckable proof. This double tension keeps the story alive, because senses guide us, while also misleading us. Hume's world becomes a balancing act where certainty slips away, yet curiosity grows. For kids, this feels like realizing a magic trick still works, even after knowing it is a trick. Hume encouraged a gentle skepticism, not as a gloomy mood, but as playful caution. He wanted people to notice how quickly they believe stories told by experience. That noticing can feel dizzy, because the ground beneath beliefs starts to feel softer. Still, everyday life continues, lunches are eaten, games are played, and friendships grow. Hume accepted this contradiction, living with doubt while brushing his teeth and crossing streets. He showed that humans are not pure logic machines, but creatures of habit, feeling, and expectation. This honesty made his philosophy oddly friendly, rather than cold and distant. Children relate when they follow routines without fully knowing why those routines feel necessary. Hume's ideas suggest that certainty is rare, while probability quietly runs the show. That does not stop action, but it invites humility. The senses become useful guides, not unquestionable rulers. When a rainbow fades as you move closer, Hume smiles at the lesson hiding inside that moment. What seems solid from far away may dissolve when inspected closely. This realization can feel disappointing, yet it can also feel freeing. If the world is partly shaped by perception, then imagination and curiosity gain importance. Hume never hands over a final answer about what is truly real. He leaves readers walking between trust and doubt. Kids are invited to ask what they really know and how they know it. Each question opens another, like stepping stones across fog. The senses keep whispering their stories, while the mind listens carefully, sometimes believing, sometimes pausing. The episode ends with eyes open, feet on the ground, and a quiet question still echoing about how much of the world is seen and how much is guessed.